I'm really loving this new attack with the fireball. It's just super simple, and when you try to actually use a Lalo with your heroes, you can usually easily crush a lot of bases. Now, it's just been a long day at work, and I've just tried to get my attacks in wherever I possibly could during the day. So I'm just gonna take you guys through some recorded attacks that I've done, and of course, I'll just cover them in depth. So let's just go through some attacks that I've done, and hopefully, you guys can just tag along and learn something this video. Let's just get right into it. The very first thing I want to mention is that you should definitely use your angry jelly on your warden. I feel a lot of people use some other pets, maybe like the owl or even the unicorn, but definitely consider using the angry jelly on the warden. It's only because he can go ahead and rush some defenses, and usually bases are designed such that they'll have like rings of defenses to counter the root rider meta, maybe, or in general it just makes the pathing a little weird. But you can see how we have like these isolated areas of defenses on this base. So usually with just one rage spell, your warden can go ahead and remove a large chunk of the base for you right up, and it also creates a good funnel for your fireball to be launched super soon. Now you can't see it just yet over here, but I am trying to get this rage core down, or at least a good chunk of it. So any fireball anywhere over here, I will take it. And I just took a very simple advantage of the fact that these defenses were lined up so well for me. Go ahead and just rush it with one rage spell. And now my warden is charging that core anyway because, well, I've got most of the funnel down, and that's good enough for me. He doesn't need to get the entire rage core down, he's just gotten a good chunk of it. And even the flame flinker, this was a symmetrical base. I was just going for the ricochet cannon on this side to make the job a little bit easier for my heroes when they finally get there. And you can see it's going pretty well. There's not really much to it. And now looking at the base in this state, right, we have our king and we have our queen as well, and we've also got a jump spell if we so need it. So now you can just easily break into this town hall with two of your wall breakers and jump into the remainder of this rage core. Royal champion can easily handle this little bit that's really honestly left. Like the eagle artillery is not even threatening for you. You can go ahead, just use your rocket spear, and don't worry if you don't have your rocket spear, it's totally fine. You can use the spirit fox on your royal champion, and you can use the haste and hog puppet. That works perfectly fine. It's not too much of a problem. You just maybe need to consider using your royal champion a bit more, kind of like a tag team with your actual hero dive. So that's about it. That's the only change. But if you have the rocket spear, you have a little bit more independence on her. And you can see this attack is flowing pretty nicely. There's not really much to it. We're just going to have to use our king's ability soon. As I was saying, rocket spear on the right side, and we've got a bit of cleanup going everywhere around the map. A bit of Lalo, I don't know what to call this. A few loons here and there, and that kind of just helps clean up everything that we really need. And what's honestly left on this base, guys? Have a look. I've even got a couple of spells left, and you can see like this base is honestly crushed. I still have my queen's ability as well. She has healers that she'll spawn with it. She has her clones that she'll spawn with it. So honestly, not really much left. And the troll champion, like I just like this rocket spear because I have the diggy on her. So I believe the diggy and the phoenix are the best pets to run with her when it comes to the rocket spear. So it's just she manages to distract her defenses and stay out of trouble for a long amount of time with it. So definitely works well. And you can see we didn't even need the Lalo on this one. But I think you guys are probably used to that, seeing the amount of content on YouTube about this attack. Anyways, I'm just trying to cover it a little bit more in depth so you guys can get an idea of how to execute it if you're having some trouble with this attack. Yeah, let's just move on to the next one. Next up, we've got this diamond boxy style of base, and you'll find many bases like this, of this style I mean to say. So usually, if it is possible for me, I will go for a good cluster of defenses that I can grab out with my fireball, and you can usually find a fireball to do so. I'm just going to pause the replay for a brief moment so that I can point it out to you guys. If you get a fireball on this X bow, you can go ahead and get like this entire cluster of defenses out, and it's pretty good value. But one thing I noticed on this base that is slightly different compared to most bases of this style is this little compartment over here. It's so scary. Like you have your clan castle, you'll have an enemy hero to deal with, and then you'll probably even be under monolith fire, like on your warden. So that compartment is much more of a threat if you think about it compared to the fireball value I was proposing earlier, like the fireball on this X-bow. So instead, if you have the option and you have 30 seconds at the start to scout a base, so just try to have a look and notice if the monolith and clan castle is in a very threatening position for your heroes, because most of this attack, if you haven't noticed already, it is about your heroes. And there you have it. We got pretty similar value in terms of the defenses that went down, and honestly, we got the enemy queen, and the clan castle is dealt with in a way that we are not fighting the monolith or the enemy queen. So think about it. You're saving a bunch of spells. Like imagine if my warden was over here after having deployed the fireball on this X-bow. I would have had to burn spells like crazy. There's no way I can save him. He will be under monolith fire. He would have had to deal with the 3 ice columns in the clan castle. Just no way. Now the next thing I want to really point out is you'll also notice I am not using my heroes anywhere near my warden. I'm trying to just let my warden charge the base independently, because these walls are really, well, meaningless to him. He can just jump around, do whatever. He just goes straight up to the closest thing that's there to him. So keeping that in mind, I guess you can already imagine like we should probably use our king and queen on this side of the base or this side of the base. And I'm not going to leave the town hall for my Lalo, so I guess we only have one option, right? So over here, it's not a perfect tag team where I'm sending them behind each other. I'm just having the king go on, do his own thing, take on some of these heavy defenses, the enemy royal champion hopefully, and I'm dedicating my queen just for the town hall takedown. Now, this is a fairly simple drop, and its focus level is about as much as probably Queen Charge Lalo. So you can usually also protect your warden pretty safely. And you'll notice I just have to kind of zoom out and just sit like this, because all I had to do was pop my king ability, pop my queen ability. Not much more I have to do for them. I can just let them get whatever value they possibly can, and I'm just trying to tag team out with the rest of my heroes. So I will have to use my Lalo on this one, but at least we're managing to keep our warden safe and sound. So yeah, we'll just let these guys get whatever value that they possibly can, and you can see the Lalo just joining in. Notice also, if you have to use your Lalo, don't wait for the previous phases to die. Like don't wait for your royal champion to die, don't wait for your queen to die. I'm trying to kind of ensure that they can continue to get value by just ensuring that I can kind of have multiple fronts of tanking the defenses while handling them at the same time. I hope that makes sense, guys. But you can see a lot of resources not needed once again. 2 rages just used at the end. My siege machine, a freeze. It's a pretty strong attack. It's a very, very, very strong attack. And most of this Lalo, I just throw it in for the sake of time. I'm sure you guys can also see that as well in this attack. But just another very strong attack that we've done over here, and let's just cover a few more for you guys. If you guys aren't convinced yet that this is a really strong army, this is actually a replay where I've made a lot of mistakes, like a lot of mistakes. And here's the only kind of base where I would say the Angry Jelly is a bad pet for the Warden. I know I just told you guys to use the Angry Jelly, but if you have a look on this base, you'll notice that there's only really 2 good fireball spots. One is somewhere in this core, and one is this town hall compartment. So the only problem with this town hall compartment is it's more accessible, but it's being guarded by these enemy heroes. Luckily for us, we've got a few tricks that we can use to handle enemy heroes with a bit more ease, despite of having the Angry Jelly on my warden. So you'll see over here, he is just gonna pretty much rush into this multi-inferno as soon as this wizard tower goes down. So what do? You can just drop like 1 or 2 super barbarians with a headhunter, and look at that. He kind of stays at bay for a while because he notices like the troops nearby him are getting kind of like hit by these enemy heroes, and that's enough to distract him. You have to just think of him as a royal champion when he has the Angry Jelly on. If he will notice that his allied troops are getting targeted, then he will stop targeting defenses and he will go for the enemy hero that is causing trouble. So enemy hero, or even for that matter the enemy clan castle, just one small tip to remember: you have to just think of him as a royal champion when he's in angry jelly mode. So as long as some ally troop is taking damage very close to him, he can divert focus and take them down. No problems. Now, we've got the fireball value out. We've spent quite a few spells, but it was worth it. It's a town hall directly out of the way. That means our king and queen can handle a different section of the base with much more ease. And you can see already over here, as I was saying earlier, I try not to pair up my queen, the Sui dive with my Warden dive over here. So now you'll notice that my Warden kind of dies out over here just because the poison spell on the healers, the multi archer tower, the X-bow, they just all hitting him at once. And I was just invested on getting the spells down right to get this hero dive, get the most value that it possibly can. And I'm just going on with it, and there you go, my Warden just went ahead and died. I don't even get the healers back, so this is a little troublesome. Now, when you're in a position like this, all you have to really do at this point is try to focus as best as you can on that concept of having multiple fronts take damage for you simultaneously. So you can see I've got the siege barracks down, they're handling this area, Royal Champion to go in this little monolith area, I guess. She has the degree on her as well, so even though she was taking damage from the monolith, no problem, the degree will stun it for you as soon as she targets it. And yeah, our king and queen went straight in over here and handled that little compartment. Now, it doesn't look so dicey anymore, doesn't it? Because honestly, we have our royal champion and queen that are healthy enough to handle the core, and there's no air threats left for us in this compartment. We've already handled the town hall compartment, which had all the enemy heroes, and it is a bit of a risky trick. It is a bit of a scary trick where you have to use the super barbarians with those headhunters, but with a little bit of practice, you can get it down. And once again, just an overwhelming finish for our Lalo. Sure, we didn't get to swag as many resources, but you know what? Just the fact that this army is powerful enough that you can recover from mistakes like that. Like my warden died very early in this attack, but you can still get it, right? Very, very strong attack, guys. I really don't know what to say. Let's just do one attack for you guys. One more. And then I think we can call this video a wrap. Another very popular base, you'll probably find this at least once in Legends if you're like mid range, so maybe around 5300, 5400 around the time this video is out. And once again, you can see there's like only this core that we really want to somehow make easier for the rest of our hero dive later on. And you can see what I'm trying to do over here. I'm just trying to get rid of these defenses. It's the easiest thing to do in order to get a fireball in the core. We have one invis spell in this army, not too many, so you're mostly dependent on your angry jelly to get the funneling down. And you can see it should be pretty simple. After this wizard tower goes down, one invis spell on this little cluster and we can get the core out of the way. Yeah, angry jelly also detached at the perfect time, so we can probably go ahead and do it right away. And as I was saying, we just need most of it out. I don't need the craziest fireball value. I don't need to somehow get in the exact center of all of it and blow the entire thing up. We have enough spells to support us, we have enough troop space to support us, and after you get your fireball down, you'll notice you don't need to waste any time whatsoever. Just go ahead. If you know your warden is walking in a particular direction over here, no need to wait at all. Just go ahead and start with your heroes. They can go ahead, they just start getting their value, right? Just go ahead, chip away at the base. You can see it's working pretty well. Not much to it, just a skeleton spell on the monolith. We have everything we need to distract whatever defenses we may find on our way. Plenty of phrases. We've got a skeleton spell. We have the rages in case we want to use either our warden to just push through some damage core, or if we want to use our queen's ability. Remember, it's not an invis vial that she has. She has 3 clone mirrors, 3 clone queens that can all get raged up simultaneously. So it's very, 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 very good value. Our king and queen are still going pretty strong. There's really not much to it. They're able to handle most of this base all by themselves. I'll probably use my queen ability super soon. Maybe give her a rage, just so that she can handle this little area that's honestly left. And there you have it. Just the base is all crumbling apart. As simple as that. Just gonna use my royal champion ability to kind of deal with whatever my queen and king left up. There's not much left to them, right? And once again, the base is done. This time we didn't need our Lalo or our siege. I don't I don't know, guys. This is It's funny, it's sad, I don't know where this game is heading, but you can see it's just a bunch of resources really, really not needed. Well, I hope the fundamentals of this attack are a little bit more clear to you guys now after this video. And if you did enjoy it, do feel free to show your support one way or the other. It does help me out as a content creator and goes a long way to support the channel. Uh, yeah, that's about it. I'm recording this really early in the morning, guys. Yeah, that's about it, guys. I'll just see you guys in the next one. Peace.